Hi, and welcome to Living on Purpose with me, Jenny Dean. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving last week. I hope you were able to listen to my podcast about the portion sizes, and I hope you indulged and enjoyed your meal and enjoyed your company. That's really what it's all about, and just maybe had me in the back of your head reminding you so you don't have a guilt on that next Friday after Thanksgiving. I spent 7 nights on a cruise ship with my family. We went to Honduras, and then we went to Belize, and then we went to Cozumel. So 7 nights anywhere for me is way too long just because I'm a creature of habit and I like my routine. And we were on a ship stranded, with kids running around like crazy. But I will say, everyone said everyone thinks you're going to gain weight and eat crazy. And definitely there were people that would have ice cream at 10 a.m. and, just eat whatever they wanted. But I had like a waiter every night that was the same waiter for every 7 nights, and he fed me whatever I wanted. If they were having steak, he would feed me just I had fish a lot, clean fish. I had sweet potatoes. He was my like little I paid him well, but he helped me out as far as I probably ate cleaner and healthier on a cruise ship than I do now, which is crazy. And they had a full gym, so I made my sister work out with me every day. They did yoga classes, spin classes. So I think the myth about, gaining weight and being lazy on a cruise is no longer, because you have no excuses. It's all right there. And you have all day to do them if you're at sea. Anyway, so today I wanted to dive into, I do get questions a lot, just kind of about my journey and how I got on this fitness trek. Believe it or not, I did not come out of the womb, wanting to run a 5K at all. I have my fitness journey didn't start till I was 30. So before all of that, I want to kind of dive into what my upbringing was. It was pretty simple. It was, I have a sister and then just a mom and a dad. My dad traveled a lot Monday through Thursday, so it was just us girls a lot. And I remember eating a lot of salads and a lot of chicken. My mom didn't really have to cook that much because she just had us girls, and we were pretty easy. We would walk afterwards. Diet was like never in my vocabulary or my mom. She did a great job on, if she was on a diet, we never knew about it, or I didn't even think about food making me fat, really, until college. It didn't even dawn on me. Just because she did a really good job on not letting us be emotionally tied to food, which I didn't even know that was a thing until I met people in college, and they're like, oh, my mom makes this best casserole for so-and-so, and they had to have it. And I'm like, wait, why? Why do you have to have it? Why can't you have this other thing? But they're so emotionally attached to it. And I get it. I understand it now. We didn't have that. And I thank God for that, because that is like years of undoing and constantly on a diet and stress. And so I pray to God I don't do that to my children. I hope they remember the experiences and the company rather than the emotional connection of food, honestly. Anyway, so upbringing all through high school, my sister and I played competitively in tennis. We did track. I was on swim team all the time. I was a lifeguard and, just ate. I did not eat super healthy. I mean, Taco Bell was in my diet, and I just didn't really think about it. I just kind of ate to be full, and then that was really it. College was a whole different story. I went 8 hours away to Texas Tech. I was in Houston, and I gained the freshman 15 because all I did was eat and drink, basically, and go to some classes, and I don't regret any of that. It was just a part of my journey. So in college, I don't think I ever went to the gym, ever. Maybe I ran a little bit outside, but that was not a priority. at all. I was a waitress, which is, I swear to God, I lost a lot of weight waitressing just because you're up and down stairs. And then I was a lifeguard in the summer, kind of just worked my butt off and went to school the last 3 years. So nothing really hit me until after college. I was a school teacher, and I just felt so tired. I would come home, I would have to be at school at 7 and then get off at 4 and immediately take a nap till about 6 or 7 at night. And I was single, lived alone in an apartment. So it wasn't a big deal, but I didn't enjoy that. I wanted more energy in my day. I didn't want to feel sluggish. So I started reading. The number one book that I can remember is Tosca Rena. She wrote, it's called The Eat Clean Diet. And I didn't even know what clean eating meant, never heard of it, didn't care about it, didn't know anything. And really, it's basically just clean eating. So nothing in the pantry. And there's like 10 staple foods that she gives you that you can just maintain throughout the day. And it will up your energy. And I tried it for like 30 days. Took away everything I was used to, Taco Bell. I remember going to Subway a lot and having the chocolate chip cookies like daily. I took away all of that. I took away crackers. I took away, staples in my diet and replaced them with just healthy stuff. And I just remember not taking naps at 4 o'clock, wanting to go to the gym. And by gym, I mean like my apartment gym, and did cardio equipment, because that is what women, that's just what we do. We weren't taught to go in the weight room and do the weights like the guys are in athletics. We just kind of do cardio and we think that's a great workout. So I would do that after school and, just didn't know better, but felt better because I changed my diet up. And then I got married, and then I had my first kid. And during the process of pregnancy, I was like, I want to be healthy for my kids. I don't really care. My body hasn't changed. I can show you a picture pre-babies and after babies. I mean, I think it's changed, but a lot of people look at it and they're like, what's the difference? On the left is my pre-baby. I think I was, 23 years old. In my eyes, it's skinny fat. I looked good in clothes, and I think I could do maybe 3 push-ups off my knees, maybe hold a plank for 30 seconds. I know I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything, half the stuff I could do now. So, but it was just, I had to do years of training. So when I got pregnant, I really wanted to be healthy and strong for the kids, for my son. And I swam. I made myself swim after school. I had weights on my ankles and weights on my wrists. I was like the crazy person. I would do it for an hour. So it was 100 laps there and back. I didn't care how cold it was. I mean, I did it through the whole 9 months, every day of pregnancy. I felt really good in the water.
That's
I felt
crazy.
light.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was like I was in my head about it, but I felt good. I had an easy delivery, easy pregnancy, and I really attribute it all to all my training. And I ate really healthy. So I did that for my first one, and then about a year later, I had a second, and I did the same exact thing with my second. I did a little bit more weight training. I hired a trainer. I got to know what is in the gym and how women should train, and like what the pull-up bar was, and all of the stuff that I should have learned a while ago. I had one training session, and he taught me pretty much everything I needed to know, and that was really it. And I just kind of looked online for programs and went on my own. Pregnant. So that was with my second pregnancy. And then I had an easy delivery. Everything was normal, and it was just super easy. After my second number 2, I had a friend that was like, come do a CrossFit class with me. And I had no idea what CrossFit was. I went with her, and I remember for the warm-up, they had us run around the building, and it was like a 400-meter run, and I couldn't run it. I had to walk like halfway in. I could not run it with her. And it wasn't even a run. It was like a light jog. And my endurance was just crap. And now looking back, I'm like, how I could not even run it. So it's surprising to me, but I remember going to my first class. We ran a 400 that I had to walk through just for a warm-up. And then you did crazy stuff, push-ups, pull-ups, everything with weight, all of that.
Is that the one where they like push like tires and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah. But I will say, so after that first class, that first hour, I got my ass kicked. And I remember laying on the ground being like, whatever this was, I want more of it, just because I love challenges. So I stuck with CrossFit for a good 4 years, and I would say competitively. I did competitions. I did it 4 to 5 times a week. And I was in it. Like, I would do 2 hours of training a day. Like, looking back, I can't even believe my body was able to sustain what I was doing. But it was all mental for me. My kids came to the gym. They saw me push myself, which I think is great for kids to see when, I did not quit anything. And they saw that. They saw me. I cried. I sweat. I did it all. And I think that's great to show your kids that. And CrossFit did a lot for me. It built my confidence. I know gym etiquette. I swear that taught me how to put up the weights and help other people, cheer people on. I got super confident in myself, and it's just it has a bad stigma, but you just need to get good trainers and be smart about it, really. So the only reason I quit that was our gym closed, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. So I went to a yoga studio, just kind of wanted to find myself, find something different. Haven't been to yoga ever. Took my first yoga class. I had a 3-month-old breastfeeding and then a 2-year-old and a husband that traveled a lot. Like I would say 80% of the year, just, traveling for work. So I was burnt out on all ends, and I took the first yoga class, and I remember crying at the end of class and going up to the teacher and being like, whatever you're doing, I'm doing. I am going to sign up whatever you're doing. So I signed up for teacher training a week after that and took the 3-month course. It's a 200-hour training. It's intense. It's physical. I always tell people it's way more emotional than it is physical, because it's 200 hours of diving into your deepest self and self-discovery, all of that. So that really changed my life. I didn't really want to go back to CrossFit. I wanted to do more healthy things for my body, and I did the whole yoga journey. I started teaching. I started taking classes, learning everything I could. I learned probably every arm balance, every training I could go to. I was in on weekends. I was just all in because I loved how it fed my body, but also my brain, my heart, all of that. I always tell people it's like a massage. You get your ass kicked. You get a great strengthening exercise all in 1 hour, which is really hard to find, So, and that's kind of leads to where I am at now. Now I still teach yoga classes, and I'm also, I'm into more functional fitness training, athletic-based training. So we work on heavy lifts, deadlifts, and I go more on less reps and heavier weights, and I'm getting stronger that way, which, so she's showing a video of me doing a HIIT training, which is what I teach also in my classes. It's a squat, and this is a thruster where you thrust your shoulders over with weights. You have weights in your hands, and you're thrusting your arms up. And that's a great compound movement. It will get your heart rate up. I was 15-pound weights, but we do them in class, 8-pound weights. HIIT training's really good. Burning fat, you hold on to muscle, and I am just all about getting it done quickly. I don't want 2 hours a day working out, and I want it done in 30, 45 minutes, and I want to be stronger. And I want to hold on to muscle. My body is made to be skinny. I'm built like my dad, and I could be skinny fat real easy. So I want to hold on to much muscle as I can, which for me is lifting heavy, which for most women it is. And we're just scared to lift heavy like that. So yeah, that's a video of me I do these in classes. I teach, 6 days a week, and I pretty much train 6 days a week doing this type of exercise. You'll never see me on a cardio machine for longer than 12 minutes if I'm ever on a cardio machine. I've always said, everyone on there, no one's bodies ever change, ever, ever, ever. And I just read a book. I brought it. It's called Thinner, Leaner, Stronger. It's Michael Matthews. He has a great podcast out. But he says, cardio cardio does enhance your fat loss, but only by burning calories and speeding up your metabolism. That's really it. It's when you get more dense muscle and lean muscle, that's when your body changes. So I always talk about that in my classes. I always say, if you have a choice, in my classes, you're going to lift weights for 60 minutes and we're going to get a little bit of cardio in, and it will be in and out interval training, and that's about it. If you want to go on a machine and burn yourself out, go for it. But also, you just watch kind of what you eat, because losing weight is putting less in, right? So you just watch what you eat, and you don't have to do that much cardio, really. Anyway, so
we have another video that you would like to play now, or would you like to keep it for later?
Yeah, so let's show them the video. This is just a video of me. I'm training 2 girls here outside of the gym, and I am a big believer in daily mobility. I read a crazy statistic where 70 to 75% of people that are in nursing homes are in there because they cannot, when they go to the bathroom, they can't get themselves up. So it's mobility, it's a squat. So if you come to my classes, we are holding yogi squats, we're holding squats where your knees are parallel to your hips. And it's just really, really good to learn. Your muscles need to be turned on. Most people go through their life and they don't know where their glutes are. Your glutes stabilize your spine, your core, everything. And my whole goal is, the older we get, the more mobility you have to do. I think people are on this rat race, which I understand. We all have to work. We sit in the car, we drive to work, we sit down at our desk, and then we drive back home, we're sitting down, and then we eat maybe something, and then we're sitting back down on the couch. And sitting is the worst thing we can do for our bodies. So I tell people never to sit on the couch. It's like a sucking hole, and it just brings you in, and no one ever wants to get up, ever, ever, ever. So I never do. I always lay on the ground. I have a roller on the floor by my couch, and I'm either rolling, or you've got to work on your mobility daily, or you're going to regret it. Like, you're going to be 75 and your body's going to act like it's 100. And you're going to lose strength as you get older. You're going to lose the way your body looks, obviously, as you get older. But mobility is something that we can keep through longevity. We should have it all the way through many, many years. But you have to take time now.
Also, as you grow older with injuries, I always heard this, that as you grow older, you're more likely to have less injuries, or they're less impactful if you actually exercise, because your body is kind of like less of a blob, should we say?
Exactly, yeah. And you're more in tune with your body. In my classes, I have them squat on their mat and then put their hands on their hips and sit down without using their hands at all, and then stand back up without using your hands.
I love that.
And you're supposed to be able to do that 10 times. And not rocking and rolling, just using the mobility. It's ankle mobility. It is learning your body and squeezing your glutes, all of that. It's just really, really healthy to be able to do that, and you're never going to be able to do it if you don't start somewhere. So I always, in my classes, have people do that. I'm a big stickler with mobility in our shoulder joints, because what I'm noticing, I've been teaching for 8 years now, daily, and people don't come back if they're hurt. And the reason we get hurt is because we're not taking care of ourselves prior, and your body just kind of gets lazy, and you twist an ankle, or you miss a step and you fall and you break a hip. That happens all the time. So my goal is for the people that come to classes to learn that mobility is a huge thing that you have to work on, and that's just stretches, simple stretches at night. You can follow my Instagram page. I do everything that I work out, daily workouts I post, and I also post stretches that you should be doing at night. You can do them with your kids. 5 to 10 minutes is really all you need. You could do it in the morning. They're chest openers, heart openers, hip openers, everything that's really, really good for us for the longevity, right?
I'm just going to put that on the screen for a second. So, more on your stories, right, Jenny? You do that more daily
I post
on the
more
stories.
of it on the stories, mostly every day. I'm doing something, some type of fitness, either teaching or physically working out, and I want to share that with you guys. And I'm here for you guys, so I want y'all to tell me what you want more of. I am really big on researching. Like, I want to feed my brain with anything that I possibly can do to help other people. It's really all I'm about. So I will be, if you comment below, comment on the YouTube, comment on my Instagram, I will love to help you guys out if there's any questions you have. I feel like I talked a lot about diet and nutrition in my last podcast. And I hope that helped you guys. I mean, there's nothing sexy about it. I've always said that. It's pretty boring. But for me, I'm not depriving myself. So, like I will say, on the cruise ship, I had wine every single night. And I didn't feel bad about it. And that was 7 nights. And 2 to 3 glasses a night. And that's just what I did. And then when I got back, I just told myself I'm not going to drink for a week. And, you're fine. It's not the end of the world.
So quick, just to recap, a couple of tips that people can use on their day-to-day base to just kind of, get those muscles rolling.
Yeah, so you can buy a roller at Target, and it's just a big rolling machine. There's all different types of exercises. You can sit in yogi squat. You could look it up on Pinterest. You should be stretching your hips a lot. Our hips are where we carry our emotions and our stress. So the reason why I love yoga so much is there's a lot of hip mobility in there in any class that you take. And you will notice you should feel lighter leaving the class. And that is the stress and emotions that we just carry in our joints and our body over days and days of being daily stresses, So make sure you're doing something 5 to 10 minutes, even if you have no time to work out. Some type of mobility on the floor, which is rolling on the stretching, yoga squats, some type of abdominals, chest warm-ups. I'll post more stuff on my Instagram story, more stuff that we can do. Anyway, so I hope this helped you guys. I wanted to share my journey. I am not like some freak that came out of the womb and just hopped onto this fitness journey. It didn't start for me until I was 30. So, and it's been almost a decade. I'm 39 years old now, and I'm more focused on the longevity of how I can keep my body running, because I do not want my kids to be like, oh, mom's not going to do that with me because she's going to, she's lazy or she can't do that. I will never be like that. I will always be I always want to participate in, stuff that they're doing. My training has changed, and I want you guys to follow that. And your training should change. We should be going through seasons, just like we go through life. Your training should change with the seasons. Like, you shouldn't be staying with something for the whole time. It should not be like that. You should be changing it up. And I will see you guys next week. Please comment if you have any questions. I'm here for you guys. Share with other people. And I hope to see y'all next week. Have a good week.